The NBA Math Trade Deadline Primer now takes a look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team exceeding expectations this year with a revamped core. That core, which features draft picks Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, as well as recently acquired Jimmy Butler, is up to 4th place in the Western Conference. There's potential for a lot of growth within this trio, especially over the next few seasons. However, the clock is starting to tick now as Minnesota sees an opportunity in the Western Conference with the San Antonio Spurs starting to flail. While the offense has been fantastic in Minnesota this year, their defense still leaves a lot to be desired. Thibodeau needs his defensive role players like Gorgui Dieng and Taj Gibson. However, the contracts of both are going to bog down the Timberwolves' cap situation moving forward. If the front office can find ways to improve the team's defense while also freeing up some long-term cap space, that would be a win-win for the organization. Of course, Thibodeau has a reputation for running his starters into the ground during the regular season. With those players logging heavy minutes, it's imperative that the Wolves are able to find the type of players that can contribute off the bench. Looking forward, the Timberwolves project to be only $3 million underneath the luxury tax, and that's before dealing with free agent-to-be Nemanja Bjelica. There are also several players currently on the Timberwolves' second unit that are a little bit disgruntled with Thibodeau's minutes usage. Both Jamal Crawford and Shabazz Muhammad have been vocal about their displeasure. Muhammad, who was asked for a trade, is a particularly interesting case. He's still pretty young and is a wing who does most of his damage as a back-to-the-basket scorer. That said, if the Timberwolves trade him, any acquiring team would lose Muhammad's bird rights, meaning they cannot go over the salary cap to retain him. This means that the only teams willing to take a shot on trading for Muhammad are those that project to have cap space this summer. Crawford's biggest point of leverage is his player option for this coming summer. If the organization feels that the relationship is fragmented to the point where Crawford won't return, they may try to flip him for an asset at this trade deadline. Another one of the team's seldom used bench players, Cole Aldridge, might be worth flipping for an asset this trade deadline. Aldridge's contract for next year is due for about $7 million. However, just north of $2 million are guaranteed. If a team that's currently over the salary cap is looking to shed some space for next summer, they might try trading a small asset in order to get Aldridge's deal on their books. If the Wolves are to make an aggressive win-now type of move, their best bet is trying to attach a 2020 first-round pick in order to get out of one of these contracts. Of course, the Wolves could also be active after the trade deadline in the buyout market, since they only have 14 players on their current roster.